Welcome to episode 19 of the radio podcast. We've got Jivan here to give us a report on next week, and we have a great episode this week on Laz.
Hey, Mr. Kung, how are you?
Great. You know Laz, right?
Yeah, I know Laz. He's
Of course you know Laz.
Yeah, all of us in the sort of music group around school, we all know each other really well. Laz is a great artist, I think he started this year, really putting himself out there. He's a great rap artist. He actually, if you were at Grad Coffee House, you would have seen he rapped to a rock song, Foxy Lady, but played by Brad Lambert. Right. Laz was actually rapping to that, and it's a rock song, so what an amazing
Jimi
guy.
Hendrix classic.
Yeah. What an amazing guy, being able to mix two different music styles together.
Now, have you ever worked with Laz?
I have not actually worked with Laz. I guess rock and rap kind of fit together, but whether or not it's that country doesn't work with rap, I don't know.
That could be a whole new thing.
That would be really interesting to try. I don't know. It's been kind of busy.
I guess Kid Rock is country rap.
Yeah, actually Kid Rock would be country rap. A lot of today's sort of more pop country can be considered like a little bit of rap depending on how fast or slow they go. But no, I think there's definitely a way to infuse any kind of music together.
So how are you doing? Are you ready to tie up the year? Tie up your high school career, basically?
I am, and one of those loose ends grads are tying up this weekend. On Friday is grad banquet and dry grad, so I'm hoping with my class that'll be a lot of fun. And in the coming weeks after that, there's going to be a slip and slide.
This is perfect weather right now this week.
Especially with these next few weeks supposed to be hot and sunny, I think we're going to have a great slip and slide. So keep your ears open for that. We are going to have a slip and slide. It's going to be amazing. The weather's going to be amazing, and it's hopefully going to be a great time.
Is it going to be freezies or something that you guys are selling?
Oh, yeah. There'll be a concession stand. There'll be the main slip and slide there, and we might have a few games on the side. Some, smaller like balloon water tag kind of games or balloon tosses, that kind of stuff on the side.
Cool. Anything else happening?
Not that I know of right now, but we're definitely always planning Spirit Weeks, and as those ideas come up and we create them, we will be making sure to put them out on the announcements. So, we might come up with a Spirit Week this Thursday, just because we can't get it out now doesn't mean it's not happening. We're going to have something coming up for sure.
And I guess Student Council is transitioning from the old crew to the new crew now, right?
We are, and it's quite interesting, actually. We this year we had the traditional president and vice president with Shuggan and Daryl. Next year, we are having a co-presidency with Cushy and Amrika. And usually there was a co-presidency last year. Sometimes, depending on how much workload there is, it drops to co-presidency, but we'll have to see how that goes. I think it'll go well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good year. They're really good to work with.
Yeah, they're definitely good people for the job, and especially having been on core last year, they know what it's like and they know what to improve this year.
All right, so you're off to Calgary?
I am off to Calgary, unfortunately. I'll be taking my country music with me, but I'll try to plan.
Well, that's the perfect place for it.
That's the Nashville of Canada. I hope.
That's right.
Maybe I'll end up on the radio one day.
Play on at the Stampede or something like that.
Yeah. But no, I think I'll get one last special song planned for a live at lunch before I have to go.
Ooh, there's one more live at lunch?
I think Mr. Bonikowski was saying something about that. There has to be at least one for June.
Right.
So I think I'll try to plan something special in case that's the last one.
All right, Jivan, I wish you all the best.
All right, thank you very much.
It's been good.
It's been a lovely 5 years.
Awesome, we'll miss you.
Thank you.
All right, high five. Thank you.
I was going to do the 5 to 8 time slot, but of course 8 o'clock curtain.
Right.
So now, not wanting to abandon the 30-hour famine, I'm going to get myself out of bed at 4 in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
And get to the school by 5 so I can
Hopefully
serve
most
pancakes.
people will be sleeping. I think there's 150 kids today.
That's going to be awesome.
150. Wow.
150. Are you staying, Laz?
I'm not, but my sister is.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I was just going to say that I used to live in New Westminster.
You did?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just going to be a random fact.
The Royal City.
The Royal City. Yeah.
And why is it called the Royal City, Les?
Oh, it used to be the capital of British Columbia.
That is very true. And why did it cease to be the capital?
I know there was a fire there.
Well, there was a fire, but that wasn't why.
Why wasn't it?
Well, a lot of people today, there's this common misconception that they moved the capital to Victoria. That is, in fact, untrue. British Columbia and Vancouver Island actually used to be 2 separate colonies.
Oh,
Victoria was always the capital of Vancouver Island as a separate colony. And when Sir James Douglas signed the declaration to bring British Columbia into Confederation, Vancouver Island went along with that, and it was decided, well, we don't need 2 capitals. Which one will remain the capital? And they chose Victoria.
I would have liked it if they chose New Westminster.
I agree. The seat of our government just...
Do you guys want to switch spots?
Okay.
Am I too loud and he's too quiet?
Turpin, you're always too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, I get to sit on both my chairs. Is this better?
Actually, why don't you sit outside?
What would happen if I fired my cap gun?
I don't know.
You want to try
It's
it?
just a cap gun.
It's just a cap gun.
Do you have any caps?
Sure do. No, not that
So
one. This
cheap.
one. This one.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay, don't do that again.
all the fun we have in the drama studio, friends. This is our first time podcasting from the drama studio.
That's correct.
You should do it more often.
They're very busy in the office for some reason today. Very busy.
I guess it's because, I don't know, famine's coming up, and then are they still planning for banquet and all this
I
stuff?
think it's just crazy time.
Yeah.
It's getting down to the end of the
Lots
school
of
year.
stuff going on with kids.
Oh, crazy time.
Crazy time, yeah.
Were you guys, like, part of any of, like, the planning for, like, our grad stuff or anything, or is it, like...
Well, I am doing your toast.
Yeah.
I do the commencement speechy speech. He's doing the
I'm doing the red
carpet.
About the commencement, I'm kind of confused. Like, do we, after, like, the school, and then, like, what happens after that?
Well...
Do we just go, or is it, like...
Yes.
Can we just leave? Can we just be like, okay, we're done, bye?
You're free.
Okay.
You're free.
Okay, yeah.
You walk the stage and you're... Well, I guess it depends on how good you are, Laz.
Okay.
Were you a good boy these 5 years?
I hope so.
Well, then you have...
I think
no
I was
problem.
good for at least 2 of those.
We also, most students don't know this, but after they walk across the stage, you get your photograph taken and you get taken into a dark room.
Oh, yeah, that part.
Where we remove the microchip that we've had in your head the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah. It was in grade 8 you guys came in here.
Yeah.
And you don't remember that? Oh, yeah, that's right. They wouldn't remember it. Of course not.
Because so now I see. So now those vaccine shots, you guys, I don't know what I was going with that joke.
Don't be an anti-vaxxer.
No,
I wasn't going, no. That's not where I was going with that joke.
All right, so Laz.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? What's up with you? So you are a rapper?
Yeah.
Do you call yourself a rapper?
Yes.
What's the difference between hip hop and rap?
I would say that hip hop is more like a cultural thing, and rap is a genre. But hip hop is like, it goes more beyond just music. It also involves like I guess you could say art and like clothing and all that, everything. Like hip hop is like the culture around it, but rap is like the music part around it.
Okay.
But can you have hip hop music that's not rap?
Well, yeah, because like I guess people would describe rap as being more gritty and like hip hop being more like poppy.
Oh, okay.
So I guess hip hop would, I think if you go back to the 70s, 60s?
Yeah.
70s? I guess it would be the Bronx in New York, right?
Yeah.
And then they had DJs at that point. And then they had MCs. who would get up and say a few words on microphones, and then they would tend to rhyme. I think that's where it came from.
Yeah, they would tend to. And then I think like the first ever recorded rap or whatever hip hop song, like first performed. I forgot what it was called, but it's like
is that Blondie? There's that Blondie song called Rapture. Apparently, that was one of the first where she actually she doesn't sing. There's this one part she doesn't sing. She just rhymes it out like a rap.
Well, I know there was one of these plays the first time anyone ever kind of like did something like rap, but I forgot which one it was.
Oh, it was The Music Man.
Yeah, The Music Man. Yeah, that's
Meredith Wilson's Music Man. They start the whole musical with the guys on the train station, and they're talking about being a traveling salesman. Cash for the merchandise and cash for the and cash for the and it goes. What's really cool about the rap is that it actually goes to the rhythm of a train. So it's like
and the reason I know that is my sister Emily. She was doing Music Man in our elementary school.
Cool.
Like, play. So and then she showed me. She's like, "Hey, do you know this is like one of the first sort of rap things?" And I watched it and I thought it was pretty cool. So,
1957, it beat West Side Story for the Tony Award for Best New Musical that year.
Really?
Sure did.
You're such a nerd.
Welcome to the drama studio. You cover my
I think we're all nerds in our different ways, right?
I like The Music Man. I like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
I've never done The Music Man, no.
I remember watching it when I was a little kid.
Yeah. It's good. Like, it's got some good stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's got that Beatles song.
Yes.
Till There Was You. Yeah.
There were
I love that
bells
song.
on the hill, and I always heard them ringing. No, I never heard it at all. Till there was you. I think my favorite part of the Music Man is the barbershop quartet, though.
Oh, I don't remember
Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose.
Okay.
I will say that
good
I have
songs.
acted before, but it was for well, I think I was in choir. I can't remember. It was in elementary school before high school. I think it was Alice in Wonderland.
Sweet.
I love that. I think I remember one of the songs like
What were you?
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity day, my oh my, it's a wonderful day.
In Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, I don't know if was it Alice in Wonderland or was it?
Well,
I remember-
Zippity Doo-Dah as a song actually comes from
Song of the South?
Song of the South, which
Yeah.
was a Disney movie, which was actually
Controversial.
incredibly
Yeah, it's
controversial.
yeah.
Because of the story of the Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox.
Mm-hmm.
But those characters, of course, live on in Disney history through the ride Splash Mountain.
You are such a nerd.
Thank you. Anyways,
I'm
There was
going this
that-
summer.
We did
Splash Mountain.
like we did a Joseph play. You know, like the story of Joseph. Like
Joseph and the Missing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yeah.
I just did that one.
yeah, we did a Joseph play.
Who did you play?
I was in choir at that one.
So you were the kids' choir?
Yeah, the kids'
Yeah,
choir.
yeah, that's cool.
And then I think what else we did? There's so many plays we did. We did Oliver Twist.
Consider yourself at home.
We did Oliver Twist, and there's just so many plays we did. And then I think we did Lion
Wow.
King.
What school is it?
It was Immaculate Conception School.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Hold on.
those are all musicals.
That's a private school.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Catholic school. You Catholic?
Yeah, my mom's Catholic. My dad is Anglican, but yeah.
Oh.
So what are you?
Oh God.
What does that make you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Confused.
Yeah,
Very confused.
Yeah. But yeah. And my little sister still goes there. And, she just did Lion King. One thing that really kind of, the person who was in charge of drama there, every year promised the grade 6s that next year they would do a Star Wars. Every year they'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll do a Star Wars musical because that's all the boys wanted to do. They're just like, will we ever do a Star Wars musical?
A Star Wars musical.
Yeah, she's like, okay, if I can make songs or whatever, then yeah, we can do a Star Wars musical.
So
And
they found one?
no, every year they promise
okay.
it and they never fulfill on their promise.
There's
Star Wars. There's that, what's his name? Bob Murray. He
Yeah.
sang Star Wars in SNL.
Star Wars.
Lounge Star Wars.
There actually is, though, a high school in the United States that was able to get the rights to doing a middle school production of Star Wars.
Wow.
And they did a whole... And you know what? It's on my list on net. You can't see the air quotes because you're listening, but it's on my list on Netflix right now. They did a documentary about it on Netflix.
Really?
I think they call it like Jedi High or something. And
that's pretty cool.
And it's like, seriously, it's on Canadian Netflix. Like, you don't have to crack the code or anything. And it's an American middle school that puts on a live Star Wars. I haven't watched it yet.
It's not musical.
They may have put songs in it. I don't know. I want to watch the documentary. It's on, like I said, it's on my list. It's like, I'm going to watch
now,
it.
did they do the entire trilogy,
I
or
think they only
did they
do one.
just?
Did they do the
New
first
Hope?
one?
I think they do episode 4.
Okay. Now, if you were to put on a musical of Star Wars, which one would you do, or would you do more than just the one?
You're going to hate me for saying this. Episode 2.
Attack of the Clones?
Attack of the Clones.
Why?
Because that's where the romance between Anakin and Padme really blossoms.
Disgusting.
And you're going to...
It's just disgusting. They're like 30 years apart or something.
But it's musical theater. There has to be a love story.
It's just
I mean, there's love stories in the originals with Harrison Ford. And
That's true.
Carrie
Harrison
Fisher.
Ford and Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
That's true. But, like, John Williams is a beyond brilliant composer.
Oh, yeah.
And he composed the music to the canon Star Wars films, which, of course, Rogue One does not count as canon.
Mm-hmm.
But the love theme that he wrote for Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, dun, 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 is one of my favorite pieces of music that he's ever composed.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's so beautiful.
He's
got some really cool like pizzicato going on in there with the violins. Boom, 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 boom. Like I think it's a cool piece of music.
How did you guys feel like when you first found out that Disney bought Star Wars, like the Star Wars franchise?
When I first found out, I was like, I don't know what they're going to do to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody knew. Everybody thought it was going to go south, but it turned out really good.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember watching the first time I watched it was in 3D.
Yeah.
And it was really cool.
Force Awakens?
Yeah, Force Awakens was I watched it in 3D and it was really nice. I actually came every time I watched Star Wars, like I went to the theater. I didn't get any physical copy or anything. I went to the theater. I watched it, and like when I came out there, I like every time I watch Star Wars, I always have like this invisible lightsaber in my hand or something.
How many times did you see it?
I think twice or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
When I found out that Disney bought Star Wars, I had a little bit of skepticism as well. Mm-hmm. But my skepticism wasn't about Disney buying it. It was about Lucas getting rid of it.
Yeah.
But as soon as I found out that Disney had it, I was oddly comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I thought, in my opinion, Disney can do no wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, if Lucas isn't going to have it, who better to have it than Disney? Right. That's same with the Muppets. Like when the Muppets became Disney, I'm not even a big superheroes fan, but when Marvel became Disney, I just think that Disney can do no wrong.
Like they handle things
so well.
Yeah.
They're so good with story and characters.
One thing I haven't watched is Rogue One because I don't know. I don't know if I want to watch it.
It's great. It's good.
I actually, and don't take this the wrong way, I loved Force Awakens. Mm-hmm. I liked Rogue One better
than Force Awakens.
But I think I loved Rogue One more because of the last 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. The last 10 minutes of Rogue One, like, I almost peed myself out of excitement of what was going on. And not necessarily because of the plot, and I'm not going to give anything away to...
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. It was for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, it felt... That last 10 minutes felt like the very first time I ever watched Episode 4.
Uh-huh.
I feel like most North American kids... I don't know if I'm wrong, but like I feel like most of them grow up with Star Wars in a way.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. My wife hasn't seen Star Wars.
Okay.
There's quite a few people who have not.
Well, but I feel like for the most part, like it's a majority of, maybe not so much this new generation because like it's not as prevalent, I guess, and because like when my generation was around, right, like the tail end of the 90s, literally 99 or 98, 99, and then like early 2000 is like when I kind of think that's when like the prequels are coming out now.
That's too bad.
Yeah, that's when those were coming out. So like Star Wars.
Well, I guess that got people interested in the original.
Yeah, Star Wars was still like in people's minds, right?
But like, I the reason why I said that's unfortunate is because I am not one of these haters of the prequel trilogy like some Star Wars aficionados are. But I just don't think that should be your first exposure.
Yeah.
That should not be your first exposure. But I know that for a lot of people it was.
Yeah, it was our first exposure. Then but then it's like once we saw those ones, then you want to see the other three.
Right.
So I saw those. I saw the three like 2000 ones first, and then I saw the other ones later on, and then and then I fell in love with Star Wars.
It's become the Star Wars podcast.
We haven't wrapped this Star Wars.
So you said you grew up in New Westminster?
Yeah.
And when did you move here?
Let me try to remember. I miss New Westminster, to be honest. It was fun. I lived, and I used to go to Queen's Park a lot too and everything. And like, I don't know, I miss it. I feel like it was, I don't want to say it's better, but it's like, it's different when you live like in a city into like in a suburban area, right? Yeah. Cause like when I was in the city, I like lived in an apartment and everything. Mm-hmm. And like I had a best friend who lived in an apartment like across mine or whatever, and then I like go to his house and everything. It's just like it's completely different vibes, and like everything feels closer. And like I felt like I knew the community more because like we knew people who own like stores and stuff like that. Right. It felt like much more closer. But then when you come into like a suburban place where it's just houses, and it's like it just feels completely different, really. It's true. I mean, I used to live in an apartment, and we used to see all sorts of different people, like all the time, right? So many people. Yeah. Not that I don't like living in a house, detached house, but it's a different feeling, like you said. Yeah. You have a completely different feeling, and like so I missed that part of it. But it's nice also to be here too, I guess. And I think I moved here when I was like, let me say, 10. Okay. 10, probably 10. Yeah. So you went to elementary school. Well, you went to that private school. Yeah, elementary school and private school there. And then I came to Delview. And then now I might be going to Victoria for university. So UVic? Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. Cool. What are you going to take there? Psychology and the social sciences. Social sciences, yeah. Did some of Mr. Nikich's influence? Yeah, probably. He's done that to a few people. Vlad Nikic, he likes psychology. People like Vlad Nikic. Yeah. So yeah, and then I guess if I want to talk about the rapping again, how I got started into that. Well, first I guess I started because I didn't really like rap music that much. You didn't? Yeah. No, I didn't. This is interesting. So when did you start liking? Okay. So has anyone heard of the band 21 Pilots? Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll start way back. So the main music, I just listened to mainstream music before, and then like when I gone to elementary school, I didn't like rap music that much. I'm more like Michael Jackson and everything like that. I was into Michael Jackson for a bit. And then like at the tail end of like when, I guess grade 10 or 11, I started listening to 21 Pilots a lot. And then like a lot, like repeatedly every day. And then there were some songs where he rapped on like some tracks and everything like that. But, I'm going to sound like a complete hipster, but I knew 21 Pilots before they were, like, really big and everything. But you're such a hipster. But yeah, 21 Pilots. And then what intrigued me about them is, I like the music, but I really like the lyrics they were saying. And, like, I like the clever punchlines and everything they were saying in the lyrics. And it got me into thinking about lyrics more in songs. And then it inspired me to write my own lyrics just for fun and everything, right? So then I just started writing my own lyrics every day. Well, I used to do that a lot when like I was in grade 5 and stuff, but then I kind of left it off for a bit. But then I got back into it. And then you did that in grade 5? Yeah, grade 5, 6, 7. They're like cheesy love songs or whatever. But about crushes I had or whatever, like stuff like that. You ever say one to your crush? No. No. Are you single right now? Huh? Are you single right now? Yeah. That's why. Yeah, probably. Gotta take the risk, man. Yeah, I gotta take the risk. But yeah, so there was that, and then it got me into thinking about lyrics. And then what I did is I used to like four songs a day or something like that. Nice. And then it got me into writing poetry and stuff. And then what got me into rap was listening to old school rap songs. Now, like I guess everyone's really when people say old school rap, they think about like the gangster type stuff, like Biggie Smalls and Tupac. Like there's some stuff that I do listen that is like that, but I kind of listen to like the more like spiritual stuff, like Nas and like. Has anyone here heard of Mos Def?
Yeah.
No.
Mos Def?
Most def.
Okay,
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
He's an actor as well.
He's also an actor as well.
He was in The Italian
Does anyone mind
Job.
if I borrow their phone because mine is dead?
Italian Job. Oh, you want to look something up?
Yeah, I just wanted to show like.
Sure. Miss Lee Hines
The
is looking for
listeners.
me. She's like, "Where are you? I need you to supervise."
Okay, I was
I'm
just
not on
going
yet,
to go on.
Leslie
Do you have a YouTube app?
YouTube app, of course.
Mr. Kong has every app.
I have apps.
He has an app for an app.
I just wanted to show the listeners a snippet of the type of music that I kind of listen to. This is a kind of a remix of one of his songs.
You've never heard of Mos Def? I've never heard of 21 Pilots.
Oh, okay.
I'll just skip to the part where he starts. Or,
Nice.
so yeah, that's the type of stuff that I personally like to listen
So this
to.
is old. Like, how old is this?
Well, that's a remix of one of his old songs from an album that he had that came out in the 90s, I think. 96 or 97 or something like that.
Cool.
So yeah, and then I hope some people know who Nas is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I listened to Illmatic a little bit. And yeah, just old stuff. I guess I didn't really listen to the more of the gangster-oriented stuff, but more of the lyrical stuff that focused on, like, I guess, problems or, like, conscientious rappers. And I listened to other old artists like Rakim and KRS-One. And just a lot of people who came out from the 80s and 90s. Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Everyone knows
I
them.
love Tribe.
Yeah, Tribe Called Quest.
Q-Tip.
Yeah, Q-Tip. And, like, all those people, like, there's so many names that I can't even remember right now about old artists like that. So then I got into those fights, and then I got into Jay-Z's a little bit, but not like the new Jay-Z stuff, but like his older stuff and his like more, I don't know, I like the older stuff a little bit more because it's like, it's more lyrical and stuff. And then because a lot of people, it depends on your approach to music and what you define as music or whatever. But like, everyone can really have a different definition of what they want to describe music as. But what I do see is like, there's a lot of people who look at it, music for like its face value. But then I like to like be like deep into like what the meaning of the song is, what like the meaning of the words are, and everything like that. And that's what really got me into rap music, because it's not really only music too. It's like, well, I feel like all music is like art form, right? And all music can be like poetry or whatever. But it's just that rap music focuses more on poetry as well than the other genres do. Mm-hmm. So that's what interested me into that. Yeah. And then I started doing it. I didn't think I was really good to begin with, to be honest. But then, yeah, I started doing it for fun. And then I don't know how the first time I first showed someone anything or anything like that.
Seems like it's fairly recently, right? I didn't even hear about you rapping until last year.
Grade 8. I did do rapping in grade 8. I remember that too. And I was in a rap battle I lost.
Who'd you lose to?
I don't want to say names. But I lost to someone. It would have been really easy for me to like give up after I lost that. But there was this other student here who was in grade 12.
Uh-huh.
And I forgot his name. I think he was from like Ghana too or something. But you probably weren't here. Were you here?
Oh, yeah, Mr.
I'd have been here for 13 years.
Yeah, you would have been here. He was like, when I was in grade 8, he was in grade 12.
Yeah.
I think he said he was from like Ghana or something like that. Or
Ghana? Agape?
No, it wasn't Agape. Well, that was when I was in grade 8. And he was in grade 12.
Grade 12. I don't know.
Okay, so that happened, and I talked to him about it, and he just gave me advice. He's like, you should just write down some more stuff and like to never like give up and everything like that. And well, that conversation inspired me to keep going. Mm-hmm. So I did keep going, and then like I stayed silent about it for like a long time. It's just like, whatever, it's a hobby thing I do for fun. And because it's like, it's a great way to like express yourself. Singing is also a great way to express yourself. But a lot of people who sing like to do covers of songs. And I mean, people can write their own songs, but a lot of people who sing like to also just do covers and stuff.
Right.
But then with rap and hip hop, it's like, it's so easy to just do your own thing, to want to do your own thing. And it makes you feel like your own person. It's like, it lets your mind be like really creative and everything.
So, I mean, let's get into that. Obviously, you have a lot of influences from old school rap. You've listened to a lot of different lyrics. You've thought about different lyrics, and you've built up a lot of kind of lyrical tools by practicing writing lyrics. Now, how do you get to the point where you seem to be at, where on the spot you're able to pull things seemingly to the outsiders out of just nowhere and put it together? Because I've always been interested in like jazz improvisation. Like, I mean, similarly, you know, whatever instrument you're playing or singing, you're pulling kind of notes from different places. I mean, there's still the rhythm and there's still the chord progressions and things like that, but you're playing around in that space, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of taking the risk, and I let my day influence me on what the topic I want to say. It's kind of like, it's like when you're writing a book, you don't know how it's going to end, but you keep writing, and then like it's kind of like the ending comes to you in a way. You know, it's like you're looking for something. Do you want me to do a quick freestyle right now?
Freestyle, yeah, sure.
Okay, I mean,
Should I throw it on a fat
Do you want to? Yeah, I mean,
okay,
here, I'll give you the mic.
Well, I don't want to use that mic. You're sick.
Okay.
I'll just
here in the podcast, what can I say? My brain is contained. I'm trying to let it levitate to a higher plane, okay? I want to be as high as the Rocky Mountains. It's kind of hard to be stable when everything's astounding. Around me, what I see in my biology class, I was looking at the last test I had. I was glad I just passed. Now I'm here. It's really hard to relax. It's kind of chill because the AC is on, but I'm not going to do wrong. I gotta spit into this mic, and I hope it's alright. The stuff I write straight from the brain. Okay, I entertain anybody who hears this. Hope you love it. The flow is gorgeous. It's anemic in this room, I swear. But whatever, I'm feeling great here.
Wow.
that,
AC.
Like he literally was talking about what he did.
So you want to know about that? It's just like, I don't know. It's just like I try to take things around my day.
Well, I mean, I can talk about my day as well, but I can't.
I can't rhyme.
I can't rhyme it.
Yeah.
How do you
in rhythm?
How do you find the pieces that fit? Right?
Yeah.
So that
it takes a lot of trial and error and failure, and then you just keep trying at anything. Really, I feel like no one gets to a. It's practicing. Like no basketball player gets to the place they're at without practicing every day. And this is something I practice every day, right? So if you have to practice. That's really the only way I can say.
Right. I mean, you hear the term overnight success and all of that.
Yeah.
And it's not true. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
It's when you talk about jazz improvisation, you're working within an 8-note scale with like 5 accidentals.
Right.
Now, Laz, do me a favor. Pick up that dictionary on the bookshelf there. No, the dictionary.
Oh, this one. Yeah. The Webster's dictionary.
The Webster's dictionary.
You know what? I forgot to add something.
Giant.
Now, how heavy is that dictionary?
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, so musicians, they have like an 8-note scale with 5 accidentals. You're dealing with an entire language. And this dictionary is large, but it's not as large as it could be. I mean, the lexicon of the English language is enormous. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with that? That's so overwhelming.
Well, I don't look at it like that. I just look at it as like, what I do at home is like, I read a thesaurus like at least. I try to read with the source at least 1 to 2 hours a day. I try to read as many novels as I can. I take on my phone. I have like 6 lists of new words that I learn every day that I write down.
That's cool.
You have to build up the vocabulary.
I have definitions for it. Yeah. You know what? I'll be back. I'll just show you my book of rhymes.
Okay.
That I have in my back.
Okay, Laz is going to leave the podcast.
What?
So
this has never happened before.
This is never.
Oh, his bag is just out.
He's just outside.
I have it in my bag here. So yeah, this was actually a gift from someone that I have. It says the future starts today. Not
I like how that thing is bound.
Yeah. Is that intentionally bound like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They gave it was a gift from someone. I write like Evan. These are rhymes that I write every day.
It's a cool little.
I'm gonna try to
notebook.
find one that I can save here. I've wrote so many in here. It's like, and then I just write a lot of rhymes downstairs.
How much space do you have left in that book?
I have a lot. This isn't even where I write most of my
cool
things. I have another thing that I have in there. Oh, I'm gonna have to go outside again.
Okay.
Because I brought the wrong one.
He is a rap nerd.
Hey, that's cool. We like nerds on this podcast.
I never made any negative comments about nerds.
I never said you did.
Oh, okay.
I just like, that was me like, hey,
That's a compliment.
It's a compliment. Yeah, hey, we like nerds on this show. It's good. It's good.
Oh, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with it.
What it means is that he's really into it.
Well, he's passionate
so
about
into
it.
it that he's...
Look
at him. He's got a huge notebooks filled with words and rhymes.
I actually like the word nerd, and I don't use it in a negative connotation.
Yeah.
To me, a nerd is a person who's passionate about something, and you can be a nerd of anything. You can be like a car nerd, where you love cars, right? Or I'm a theater nerd.
So this was something I wrote during English class. Do you want me to say it? Or?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Are you in English this semester?
Yeah.
So Miss Unra will listen to the podcast, and she'll know that you were writing this during English class.
Okay, I hope she's okay. I was at the level of the gravel. Things were harder than cement pavement until I concentrated on the rap flow. And now I'm at the top of the Maslow. I self-actualize with each rhyme, climbing the hierarchy of my family, lifting up in poverty with poetry. I mold words like I'm creating pottery. I'm on scraps, subscribe to the channels of my mind. Each log is a daily vlog of my lifetime. I blog about the headlining moments I witnessed, the scandals, the survivors, the zones in my dome. The broadcast, the mental forecast, I expend rains of tears before rays of cheer. Katrina, Sophia, before the dark clouds disappear. And then it's like the thunderstorms before the warm sun appears. By the end of the night, I knew bright days are near. And then, it was like, that's all I have, I think, so far for that one.
What?
Top of the Maslow.
Abraham Maslow? You're talking about the hierarchy of needs?
Yeah, hierarchy of needs, yeah. I was referencing that.
What? We have a grade 12 on this podcast that rapped about the hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow.
I'm sure you could just summarize your entire 5 years here and everything that you've learned and just rap about it.
Right? Yeah, that's also good. I like to make connections to stuff with historical events and make references.
Katrina.
Yeah, Katrina and stuff like that. So, to paint pictures in people's words, but it's also because I also like to do a lot of research and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I like to do research, and then if I get inspired by something, I write about it too. And I do.
That's amazing. So
I think I made also another one about the Castaway movie that I watched. After I watched
Wilson!
Yeah, after I watched, I don't think I can find it now because it was like it was like a while ago. But yeah, I made something about Castaway and stuff. So it's like after I get inspired by something, it motivates me to want to write even more about it.
Right.
Like
so
that,
you find yourself doing research on things that you've heard about.
Things that I heard about from life, or things that I've read from books, or things that people have mentioned to me, or new concepts that I find interesting. It's like, it's like, I enjoy that actually. I enjoy like taking in information and stuff, and then trying to like, I think I'm going to reference Mr. Choi here, but like Mr. Choi kind of, what he said in a media class once was that like nothing in our world really is original. Mm-hmm. We're all kind of just trying to remix everything, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm taking all of this information. It's kind of like I'm remixing it in a way to kind of produce something new for people to see and hear and everything.
So when you're in the moment of freestyling, what goes through your mind? Are you like, obviously you find it more natural now than when you started. Maybe you can take us back to when you first started to freestyle, because I'm sure, just like anybody else, you may have started by listening to Tribe or whoever, and then just repeating what they were rapping, right?
Yeah, it started with me repeating what they were rapping. And then one of my favorite lines from Tribe Called Quest is like, "If knowledge is the key, then show me the lock." I love that line so much. But and it's like. I don't know. It's just like I just repeated what they were saying, and then before when I was freestyle, I would think about what I was going to say before I said it. But then now it kind of just, because I've practice it so many times, sometimes it just comes naturally. And
Right.
sometimes I'm like, I surprise myself sometimes, to be honest. I'm like, how did I think of that sort of thing?
So it just feels like you're like flowing right now.
Yeah, it feels like you're flowing. Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it feels like you're just writing poetry on the spot, which was something I really liked to do in grade 10. I liked my favorite unit was the poetry unit, but I will say I don't say I liked free verse, but when you do try to box someone in with a lot of like rules and stuff, it can feel constricting when you say you have to write only about this. It's like I wanted to do like. I'm not like going to like insult any like English teacher or anything like that, but it's like when they tell you that you can write something, but you can only write about this, but then you have this really great creative idea that you have, but you can't do it because that's not what the assignment is. It can feel a little bit frustrating, and then you kind of feel like you don't want to do it, but you just do it because you want to get a mark out of it.
Well, you should never do anything just for the mark, but sometimes, like, I use this as well, in terms of constraints is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And when you have constraints, sometimes it forces you to be a bit creative as well. I mean, I'm just thinking now of examples of freestylers, on the Jimmy Fallon show, he's had like Lin-Manuel Miranda freestyle, and he'll give him like what is it, two words or something like that, like randomly chosen words. It's interesting watching that because there he's kind of forced to use like two completely unrelated words and somehow bring it together. And the way it happens is just phenomenal. And somehow there's a connection.
Yeah, that's also true as well.
It's like a game, but I'm watching this, and you see how he's like moving from one topic to another, and somehow it comes around and completes the loop.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried that before?
Well, yeah, actually, that has happened to me before. Where they were like, they probably did it differently, but they were just like, there's this video on the W Instagram page where it's like one day it was like on before the Christmas week.
Oh yeah.
And then Mr. Joy's like, okay, you do a Christmas rap, and then you want
Nothing says Christmas like a Christmas rap.
And then I was like,
Christmas rapping.
So
what?
So I had to stay on the topic of Christmas, or it's like my friends around me say, okay, we'll do a rap about this topic, or do something about that topic.
Do rap about Smurfs.
And it's like,
Dude, there's Laz. Do rap about coffee. I'm having coffee right now.
Ever since I did the first fine arts night, nobody who like there's a lot of people who've just been asking me to rap and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
because you're the one.
But yeah,
the prodigy.
And I guess it's that there's a lot that I can go into like rap and how it's like complex and everything, because like, well, there is the mainstream rap that isn't really that complex, but everything that an artist says, at least in hip hop, is to, in a way, reflect about their own personal life, and to just like, you're telling a story, really, right? Because when hip hop started in like New York, it was just about people just talking about their stories, just talking about their daily life, and like going through specific moments of life, and just talking about that in a creative form that that felt like you were releasing something, some type of emotion out. It could be any emotion, really. But, yeah.
Do you find rappers who have gone through really tough times to be better rappers because of just the things that they've gone through?
Yeah.
And they have something to say?
Yeah, you could say that they have something to say, but it's also, yeah, that is true. I do agree with that, but you don't have to necessarily go through a lot of bad stuff to be a rapper. I mean, you could. Everyone goes through.
Well, you don't want to make yourself go through bad stuff so that you can rap, right?
Everyone goes through bad stuff in their own way. Everyone has their own definition of what bad is, really. I mean, yeah, for like someone who lives here, they could say like a bad day would be like, I don't know, okay, let's say losing your car, but that would be a pretty bad day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then there's someone in any other part of the world outside of the Western world whose bad day might be their home exploded or something like that. So
Don't clean drinking water.
no drinking water or anything. So everyone has their own definition of bad. Now, and just because someone's bad might be worse doesn't mean that your bad isn't bad. It's just that everyone has their own different experiences. And
Have you ever listened to rap from other countries?
Yeah, I have. I've listened to like South American rap.
Yeah.
Rap from like Africa, rap from like, I think I even heard from rap from like China or something like that,
Right.
too, or like Korea or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like it started from New York and then now it's such like a universal
Right.
thing, right? It's everywhere in the world.
Well, I think the further we get in society, the better we get with technology, the smaller the world is getting.
Yeah.
And they talk about globalization, but there's cultural appropriation of everything now.
Yeah.
You know, like when you think of tango music originated in Argentina, but tango, we do it everywhere.
Yeah, we do it everywhere.
You know, it's not a uniquely Argentinian art form. It's the world's art form. And I think you can say the same about rap.
Yeah.
Sure, it originated in New York, but it's a global art form now.
Yeah, and it's yeah, and I'm glad that it's a global phenomenon because then I probably wouldn't be able to do it if it was just this whole New York thing. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that it's like spreading everywhere around the world. I'm happy about that, and I hope it spreads more. And I hope people just bring something different too. I think that the main important thing is not to try to copy what other people are doing in anything really. I think the best thing anyone can do to succeed in something is to do something that's unique to them. Because when I started, a lot of people told me I couldn't be a rapper because I don't swear as much, or like because they said my personality was too nice, too nice of a personality, or too friendly. But I'm not going to change who I am to want to do something that I want to do. So it's like, yeah, the lyrics that I have don't have a lot of like volatile language or anything like that.
Well, there's certainly a stereotype around rappers, right?
Yeah.
If you ask
rappers,
an outsider who has never listened to it, that's what they would think, right?
Yeah.
They think about these people who swear a lot, who run around with guns and hang out with prostitutes. Yeah. Right? That's what it looks like.
But the rap genre, I guess rappers call it the game, the rap game.
The rap game.
It's changed. You know, but you used to have artists in the genre who were revolutionary at the time. Think of a Will Smith. You know, songs like Getting Jiggy With It, which was like, anyone could listen to that. You know, that was mid-90s, and that was a rap album that any elementary school kid could go and listen to. And now you even have artists out there like a guy like Kirk Franklin, who's trying to bring rap into the gospel music genre. Yeah. And they're now doing all this like Christian rap.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, there's a lot of Christian, and there's also this other rapper called Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper, yeah.
Like a lot of gospel stuff too.
So, like, it doesn't have to be vulgar. It's not about gangsters doing what gangsters do. You can rap about anything, and then, you know, then to bring back Lin-Manuel Miranda, there are kids in the American public school system who are memorizing the American Constitution because of the lyrics to Hamilton.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can rap about anything now.
Yeah, and the thing about rap is like, I think it's like, maybe not so at the beginning, but it's such a broad genre. Like, there's so much diversity in it. Like, there's so many different people who are in it, and there's that segment of rap music that is about criminal activity, but then there's also other segments about it that's different from that. And it's like, I think and every genre is diverse in its collection of people. But I guess because I'm more concentrated on hip hop, I can say that it's such like a broad and diverse thing with something different that everyone could bring to it.
Do you think the music business pushes people to market it that way in terms of this is we need to have a certain type of music video with people dancing in scantily clad or very little clothing and then swearing? And
the music industry most definitely promotes it, and the music industry is the industry. It's you have to have a product that you can sell to people. Mm-hmm. So that's what they're creating. They want to, that can sell to not just people, but to the most amount of people. And what do people mostly get attracted to? What can, like, we learn about this in marketing, really, and the main thing in everything, really, it's like they sell sex. Sex can sell. What else can they sell? Anything that's addictive to, like, humans, I guess. Mm-hmm. So they
sugar.
Sugar.
No, like, seriously, sugar sells.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anything that sells, that they know for sure can sell, you have to package it up as something that can sell. And, like, yeah, the mainstream is always going to be like that. It's just, and the mainstream is meant just for that, for people who are mainstream listeners and just want to listen to that. And that's totally fine. If you want to be a mainstream listener, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that, because everyone has, like, their own different preference. But then it's for people who want something more than just the mainstream. You do have to dig a little bit deeper, but then you will find something that you'll eventually enjoy and like.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I think nowadays it's maybe easier to, like, eventually, I mean, if we're talking about mainstream, we're talking about people who want to make it their profession, basically, to do what they want to do. That means make money, right? And you have to make money somehow.
Yeah.
But nowadays, do you think it's easier to kind of go your own way and still have a following?
Oh yeah, being
right?
independent is way much. I'm going to say, I think labels are going to be dead pretty soon. Mm-hmm. What the thing is that's going to be in the future is people being independent artists. I think that, like, because now we have the internet, right?
Yeah.
Well, what do we need the label for?
Yeah, SoundCloud. You can get your stuff out there, right?
Yeah. I have my own SoundCloud. I put some stuff up there. Mm-hmm. It's like, what do you need the label for to distribute? And labels taking a percentage away from your revenue as well. So it's kind of like, what do you need the label for?
Yeah.
Anymore.
Which is why they fight so hard against
against that. It's like, so it's like, if you can do it on your own, then it's best to do it on your own. And I guess why the reason why labels are still around is, like, if you wanted to take it to, like, the next level. But I feel like eventually it will get to the point where, like, for example, Chance the Rapper, he's an independent artist. Mm-hmm. But his music gets played, like, he gets millions of views, millions of streams and everything. And his music's on Apple Music.
Right.
With no label.
Right.
And with no label, that's, the middleman is out.
Mm-hmm.
The middleman is out. So he got a deal with Apple Music.
Yeah.
And the middleman is out. Like, there's no one controlling you, and you become your own boss in a way.
Mm-hmm. You can get yourself on Apple. LA is on Apple Music.
Yeah, LA is on Apple Music. You can become your own boss in a way, and you can, like, so you can be independent and you can be strong. And it's like, it takes a lot of courage to want to be independent, really, because when you have a label backing you, you feel more secure, in a sense, because you feel like, okay, they know what they're doing. But there's a lot of things that you can do on your own, really. Mm-hmm.
Right.
It will take a lot of trial.
Well, labels obviously have a marketing machine.
And they have a marketing machine, right, yeah.
They can get you on shows. They can get you, performing.
And it depends. I guess it also depends on where you want your career to be. If you really want to be, like, super famous and everything. Yeah. But I mean, I guess, like, when it comes to fame, I wouldn't do something just to become famous. Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, you have to make a living, but I wouldn't do it just to become famous, because I feel like you lose a lot with fame, really. You lose, like, a lot of privacy. And I'm a pretty private person. Like, for me, privacy is really important.
So, having said that, have you put yourself out there in terms of your work?
I have my work on SoundCloud and stuff, but
you do.
I'm not striving for fame necessarily. I'm not striving just.
You're an artist.
Fame. Yeah.
You're working for the art. You're not working for the fame.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Have you thought about producing an album or?
Well, yeah, I'm just starting to do mixtapes and stuff because it's like it's a busy time right now, but. Eventually, I have a concept, and I was going to call it Rain City. But the thing is, it wouldn't be spelled rain like R-A-N. It would be rain like the other rain.
R-E-I-G-N?
Yeah, so it would be a play on words with where we live. So it would be like Rain City. So, and then I guess the whole idea about it would be to just talk about life in Lower Mainland and everything like that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that is cool. I better copyright that now.
I don't think there's anyone. Well, I'm sorry. I kind of just let my idea loose there, but I don't think there's any other artist from, at least to my knowledge, in BC who really does that.
There was a group from North Vancouver. I'm forgetting their name now. Mm-hmm. They were like a rap hip hop group. That's gonna bother me.
Okay, this is good. Now you're pacing.
No. I'm getting my phone.
So of the new artists, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go on to something else. Of the new artists, who do you like? You talked a lot about the old school rappers. Are there any new artists that you're particularly impressed with?
My memory is like I have to think about it really fast. Yeah, there's some underground new artists that I like. Some music that my friends talk to me about. I guess I could say J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. Those type of people.
Like I don't know a lot about rap, but I know about Kendrick Lamar. I've listened to some of his albums. It's interesting to me because I can't remember which album, but he seems to use a lot of jazz artists as well.
Oh yeah, I think you might have heard "To Pimp a Butterfly" or something like that.
Right? Yeah.
Or it might have been "I" or something like that. But yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah, he had a lot of jazz artists on there, and it was quite interesting, quite different to listen to that.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like hip hop really is about. It's like, cause it's like, it all started with like sampling voices and stuff from other songs, right?
Right.
So it's really what rap genre is. It's really taking stuff from different genres and then kind of putting a spin on it, really. Yeah, that's what it mainly. That's what the main basis of it is. And I guess it all started with the 808 machine. You know that 808 machine with like all the buttons and everything. Yeah. Because interesting story about this in the Art Institute. That machine was actually meant for rock musicians, so they could have their own portable like drum thing. Yeah. Because not everyone could afford a drummer, right? And then it did not sell that well to rock musicians because they were like, well, I mean, this sounds nothing like an actual drum, so we don't want it. But then it started picking up in hip hop because it was like a different sound really that could kind of work with that.
Interesting.
And then
did you see that documentary on the 808?
I didn't, but the thing is, I learned about that on my time at the Art Institute during spring break.
Okay.
When I was at the training and the work experience program there.
Yeah. Swollen members.
Oh, okay.
That's what they're
they're from North Van, right?
I thought they were from North Van, but apparently
Lady Venom.
They're just listed as Vancouver. But
I remember one song, the Lady Venom song from them. Huh. So, what's up for you in the future in terms of are you going to continue rapping and recording and doing stuff like that? Obviously, you're not going to just stop. It's your passion.
Yeah. I mean, and I have some people that I collaborated with too.
Oh, good.
And it's like good online too because I meet people from different like provinces too. Because like for the last song that I recorded here after school, I met a producer from Ontario.
You recorded something here?
Yeah. I recorded something here. Sometimes I record some stuff here.
Cool.
From Ontario, and he's an actual engineer too. He's like a university student. He's an engineer, and I think I'm going to be actually calling him today when I get home. But yeah, he's mixing that right now, and I'm going to release that soon. And
well, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, if my phone works, I can show you the unmixed version of it. So I'm gonna try. I'm hoping my phone works, but yeah.
Because the only things that I've seen from you, I saw a few things. Well, last time you rapped at the beginning of the podcast, and then I saw you rapping in Mr. Choi's room.
So you haven't heard any of my recorded things?
I haven't heard any of your recorded things. I've heard your live thing at the coffee house, which was amazing. You and Bradley with Foxy Lady.
Yeah. And you and Alandra.
Yeah, you and Alandra, Stereo Heroes.
That was unreal.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like to collaborate with other people. It's nice to do that. I don't know. I just like to. It's nice to build just chemistry with people and just do something that when I collaborate, it's not I'm trying to do something that they're doing or I'm trying to bring the best that I can do and they bring the best that they can do, and collaboratively together it makes something that's completely unique and great.
Right. It's again this idea of mixing things together. I mean, there's something about singing and then breaking into rap that I just really enjoy.
That's why you like Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, so he just, this is him right now. He said he's going to send an email to me, but this is what I recorded last time.
My name symbolized all that was corrupt to society.
I just dropped my first thought on these pages. Tell the world I'm getting out of your spaces, leaving this hell. I'm aiming for where outer spaces. My mind wanders like NASA. There's never a single answer for what's out there. Multiple theories, but you know a true story. In my own space, about to take on an odyssey. Explore it like great melody. Quick with these lyrics, the shining is the deep inside in my sleep. Listen to celestial of my lyrical speech. I'm straight away from that zodiac path. I'm the author of my own destiny. Not some horoscope blogger with some false prophecies. We all seek for where the prophets meet. Every time we wrote a song, it was a hit.
And then it's not
cool.
That was very cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to be releasing that soon. And then you can hear the full version there.
Awesome.
So, yeah, he edited that. I'll show you what
Where are you releasing that to?
on SoundCloud. I'm posting it on SoundCloud, and he's going to email me the
Will you tell us what your SoundCloud username is so people can look for
Oh
stuff?
yeah, it's my stage name is Live Always Zen. Well, it's Laz, but it's also like LAZ, so it's like Live Always Zen. So
Okay, so it's Laz.
Yeah, it's Laz.
Cool. Live always Zen.
This is the. Oh no, that's another one. This is the. This is the this is the same thing, but this is it unedited. This is what I just sent to him, and then he mixed it. And yeah,
That's cool.
so that's
very
that. You never even heard my freestyle at the Art Institute that I had?
No.
Oh, this is cool.
Okay, I'll show you that.
Laz comes in here one day and says, Mr. you gotta listen to this.
Yeah. It was I was at the Art Institute. We were making beats and stuff, and then I just because I was bored, I guess I just freestyled for one of the instructors there, and he's like, "Oh, we got to get you a mic then." and then I recorded it, and I did it for 7 minutes. It was a 7-minute freestyle. I don't know if I can give you the whole 7 minutes, but that's the wrong one. I don't know if I can give you the full 7 minutes.
That phone is backed up, right?
I don't know if I can give you the full 7 minutes, but what I can do is I can go to the end for the last minute or so, and then we can listen to that.
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna have to just.
It's about love, not money, shoes, clothes. You already know that will leave you so empty. Please don't chase for material things and greed. I give thanks that I away from that. I avoided it, and our void is filled with light. You know the real treasures are in your heart, in your chest. So please know that. Don't worry to impress. Worry about what you're gonna dress, and I don't worry about tomorrow, cause I already know what tomorrow will bring. Cause I already know what I'm doing today, doing these things that help me feel okay. And this was really a freestyle. I'm veering off the topics, but I did this for a while. I like it a lot, I'm not gonna stop. And everybody's saying dragging you down, whatever. I feel alright today, I feel alive today. I feel alright today, and I feel alive today. But you should feel alive today, I mean like every day. Don't ever be a slave to the mental chains that they bring inside your brain. A lot of pain, stay sane. Don't worry about what others say, because everybody can go their own way, make their own choice. Please don't be filled with this void. Please don't be filled with this void. avoid society, tells you this, tells you that, and I call that whack. Please just keep intact who you are. Don't worry about the spiritual scars that they inflict. Just put your hand in the cookie jar if you want a taste of it.
And then same thing, wow, at the end.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
You're just exhausted after this.
Yeah, it was 7 minutes long. Okay, I'll show you the beginning part because that was my favorite part, to be honest. I'll just show you a little bit of the beginning part.
Do you know when to end it? Or, like, I guess you tie it up somehow? Or
Yeah, at the end, I just tried to leave a statement at the end.
Yeah.
Whatever, I like to make a meal. Yeah, is that not why we live?
No, that's not the part. I think it was, yeah.
That I explode like dynamite. It's quite nice. This flow is still. You like it, right? Alright, I got the grip tight on the mic. I'm never gonna go slow. I give thanks that I can have this flow. And focus on something else. I'm focused on going up on the ranks. Whatever you say, I will never sink like Titanic ships. I still gotta in the grid to rise above this. The intricate lines of life. I came here from the expo. Switching the millennium, I remember though. Taking the 319 down my street. Now I'm on the Art Institute. Unique. I came here early to McDonald's. It was
Unbelievable.
Security asked me where my ID
319.
was. I showed them. Showed me to the cap and I chilled with this guy named Alex from Vancouver Island. We were talking and we chatting. He was playing something on his laptop. The conversation was hot. After that, the whole session started. And now I met Adam and he taught how to use logic. Yep, I got the logic to do it and that was great. I feel a rate in the new atmosphere, away from fear. This is how I make something that I love so dear. Yep, so dear anyone. Reviews like beasts are around you and circling, ready to take you down. Just remember you have your crown. You can be great if you make the steps to take it to new directions. Please don't listen to what they say or say, putting you down. You got a crown that you can wear, so wear it right now before your soul wears down. Don't be a clown, cause once the makeup goes off then the smile is a waste. I'm feeling real wild in my own place. I got the heavy heat. This is a bitter taste, but it's also sweet. I used to have my feet dragged down, but now I'm a drag on with fire so hard. You love it a lot. Nazi's not gonna stop. I love the beat that I'm rapping on. I thought about this so long. After I'm done doing this live, save the file on my Google Drive. Go home and make it sound alive. Show it to my friends and
Oh, my Google Drive.
So yeah, that's
7 minutes of that. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I must have been exhausted.
Is there a certain tempo that you prefer to rap to? I don't know how it is for different artists, but like you listen to Busta Rhymes and it's like ridiculous.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
even know
he
what he's
goes
saying.
so
It's like,
yeah.
like, is there a certain tempo that you're comfortable with?
First, I used to like going really fast, but
Yeah.
then I kind of like to go slower a bit now.
Yeah.
Just so I can, because like if I go fast, people are like, wow, that was great, but I really didn't understand what
Yeah,
you're saying. And
right.
then I feel disappointed in that because I was like, oh, I wanted you to kind of understand what I was saying.
Yeah.
So when I go slower, it's like, then they can kind of hear what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So yeah, that's my, I mean, but there's nothing wrong with rapping fast or anything like that. Yeah. It's anyone's personal preference with what they want the listener to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're going to be the rapping psychologist, psychiatrist?
Maybe.
You're going, that's what you're going to UVic for, psychiatry.
Yeah,
psychology.
Psychology, yeah.
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 Well, you know how to express yourself. Maybe you get your people that you're studying to express themselves that way too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bring in some music therapy.
Yeah, it's nice.
Therapy. Rap therapy.
My goal is to at least finish one album, to at least do that. And then after I'm done with that, then another one. Because like, really, if you think about it, you get your whole life to try to do your first album.
Right.
It's like you have your whole life to prepare to do your first album. And then after that, it's like you have something else that you can compare it to or whatever. But yeah, so I don't know how long it's going to get me to get there, but whenever it's the right time, then I'll start doing that. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah, get it out there. You never know.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, like, if you do get it out there, are you, would you be anxious about, are people going to like it, or is it going to be popular, or, I mean, is it for you?
my reaction to it is like, if someone says they like it, I'll say thank you. And if someone says they hate it, I'll just say thank you. Let's just do it. Because I mean, like, you can't control people, what people's preferences are, right? So I'll just put something out there. And if someone likes it, then I feel really appreciative of that. And I really do. It really makes me feel better if someone likes what I'm doing and they can connect to it. And if someone doesn't like what I'm doing or whatever, it's just their own preference and it doesn't bother me really. Yeah. It's like, I'm just doing my own thing.
Very, very mature.
Yeah.
Have you seen this documentary? And if you haven't, you should. Called Searching for Sugar Man. Have you heard of it?
I haven't
watched it, but I've heard of it, yeah.
So it's about this guy. I think it was I wish I remember the details, but in the 70s, he's a musician, played the guitar, composed his own music, and like a producer picked him up and said, "This guy's awesome. He's going to be huge." But for whatever reason, at that time there were other artists and things like that. He put out his first album, it went nowhere, and so he kind of gave up. He lived in Detroit. He just kind of went on, did other things, got a regular job, and then found out like years later, like decades later, there's a huge, huge following. He dropped off the face of the earth. Nobody knew where he went. But in South Africa, of all places, people somehow discovered this album and it became huge. Like, and then that's what the documentary is about. It's about searching for Sugar Man, searching for this guy who did all this great music. And so the documentarian actually goes and finds him and then brings him back and then actually brings him to South Africa to perform.
That must have been like
for the first time.
Experiencing that amount of fame from just living like a regular life, right?
And nobody in North America where he lived, nobody really paid any attention to him. And then he steps off you should see the scene where he steps off the plane in South Africa. And people were like, he was like this rock god. It was amazing.
Crazy.
You know, there are some stories that are similar. Not to the same extent, but like, when you think about it, the Backstreet Boys, Backstreet's Back was their first American release. Because they had an album, a self-titled album, it was just called Backstreet Boys, in Canada and Europe. And they were huge in Canada and Europe.
Really?
Their second studio album, Backstreet's Back, was their first American release.
Wow.
Like, they weren't huge in America until they came out with that song, Backstreet's Back. Well, Americans were like, what do you mean you're back? Who are you? Where have you been? How are you back? That was their first American release.
So you never know. I mean, you put it out there, somebody really will really take to it, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's this guy from Ontario who heard me,
right?
And like, I'm working with him now, but like, yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, but like I said before, it's even if I never like get like big recognition, as long as I get to a part in my artwork that I want to get to, like a certain place where I feel comfortable with the art I'm doing, then I'll be happy. That's all I really need. Just to be happy with what I'm doing. Yeah.
You're going to be huge in Liechtenstein. I just have a feeling. Luxembourg. Yeah, someplace.
I'm going to be like in Luxembourg. Like 30 years from now.
30 years from now, you'll find out.
He's huge in
I'm
Malta.
I'm Malta. I'm in the Hall of Fame.
Oh wow!
Music.
They want to give me the key to the city, or it's just like it's one of those like countries that are just like one city or whatever.
Yeah.
You'll read it in the online news one day.
Yeah.
What?
Like, oh wow.
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny, actually. I don't know how I react to that. How would you react, Mr. Turpin?
Oh my goodness, that I wouldn't even know.
Oh, take it all in.
Take it all in.
I'd move to Malta.
You're huge in Bolivia.
Let's go to Bolivia. Let's go play some pan flute in Bolivia.
Awesome.
Oh, that would be very funny. Actually, I would personally find it really funny if that happened to me, because I'd be like, wow, I'd find it like, why did I not know about this?
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't know what I would do from then after that.
Live there.
There.
You would have to.
Soak it all in.
They'd give you a palace. Yeah.
Sugar Man.
Sugar Man.
What did he do in the documentary?
Well,
Whoa. Spoiler alert.
okay. No, but he did like a tour in South Africa. And I guess after the documentary, he became popular here too.
Oh, cool.
In certain circles.
Yeah, that's good.
I think he did a signing in Vancouver. I saw a video on YouTube where he, I think it was like a book signing or something. And he performed.
Straight No Chaser was a little bit like that.
Straight No Chaser?
Do you know Straight No Chaser, the a cappella group?
No.
Oh, okay. So
I was thinking about the tune.
Straight No Chaser is an a cappella group.
Yeah.
And they were all buddies in a collegiate a cappella group. They all go their separate ways. And then all of a sudden a record producer catches a video of them doing Silent Night or some Christmas tune on YouTube because someone filmed a concert that they did when they were in college. This is 10 years later. And it calls them up. It's like, is the band still together? It's like, no. That was like, we were all in college. We graduated college 10 years ago. Get them back together. And they seriously got them back together. And they're like, it was the most unreal thing. We're like 10 years, hadn't seen a lot of these guys in 10 years. And all of a sudden we're quitting our day jobs and going on tour as Straight No Chaser. And they've never looked back.
One of the greatest recordings ever of Over the Rainbow. Eva Cassidy.
Eva Cassidy. She was an unknown. Actually, the recording was recorded, I think, in a bar or at a restaurant gig or something like that. That's cool.
And by the time she became popular, she had already passed away from some disease.
Oh, that's cool.
And somebody discovered this recording, and it got played on the radio.
Wow.
And then like her guitar work and her singing was just amazing. But yeah,
it's sad.
Post-mortem.
It's kind of like
an artist has really never fully appreciated it while they're alive.
You know, that's the one thing I want to. It's like that's true because like once someone dies, you kind of gain like more of an appreciation of their artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like I guess I could say with like Kurt Cobain and everything, and Nirvana and everything. Like when they were you and they're around, were they were pretty big back, like pretty big,
but they were bigger after.
And now there's people who wear Nirvana shirts who've never heard the music before. But it's because it's become such a part of like popular culture now. And it's like,
you know what I think about? And this is very strange to think about, but we think about how enigmatic the Beatles are.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they're huge. And then you look at the Rolling Stones, another product of the British invasion, another really, really big band. The Rolling Stones still tour.
Yeah.
We don't really talk about the Rolling Stones like we talk about the Beatles. The Beatles are on such a pedestal. If John Lennon hadn't been assassinated, apparently, rumor has it, he was writing new Beatles tunes at the time that he was killed, and he was hoping to do a revival. What would we think of the Beatles now if John Lennon didn't die? But the fact that he did die, and the band was complete at that point in time, now Beatles music stands as a complete body of work. Like a chapter that could never be reopened. Yeah. There's no new Beatles tunes.
Right.
So it's the complete canon. It's not like the Rolling Stones. Keith Richards, don't know how that guy's still alive. But the Rolling Stones could put out a new album tomorrow. Like they really could. The Beatles are done, and they're on such a pedestal in the music world.
But I think what I love about the Beatles was their range.
Oh my goodness!
Right, of musical styles.
It's vast.
Yeah,
so vast.
I continually discover new songs from there.
This is kind of off topic, but like I guess not off topic, but like one of the most inspirational songs I listened to was like "Working Class Hero."
Oh, cool!
By John.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I don't know. Everyone always says Paul McCartney's their favorite Beatle.
Well, I guess for some people.
Well, yeah.
How do you pick a favorite Beatle? Like, depending on what day of the week, I have a different favorite Beatle.
That's a strange question because the Beatles were the four of them.
They had to be the four of them.
Yeah, if there weren't the four of them, then they wouldn't have done what they did, right? Because they all had their strengths. Even Ringo Starr with his.
Actually, one of my friends
switched like his left-handed drumming on a right-handed set. That made
the Beatles. Yeah.
That sound was unique because of that.
That's it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's such a unique sound. George Harrison's guitar, right? Like he wasn't a great vocalist, although he can sing.
Yeah.
But he was like his guitar was just unreal.
I think I think like every big band has like this sort of different sound to like this thing that's unique to them. Like I'm gonna go back to Nirvana. Like before that, like before grunge rock, there wasn't really anything that was middle, right? It was mostly like was it mostly just like hard stuff?
Well, it depends. Like what was considered hard rock in the 80s, we wouldn't consider hard rock today. Right?
Yeah, but like I don't know. I guess
like when I think of the grunge rock that Nirvana, like they claimed that they were the pioneers of this Seattle grunge rock movement. But when you listen to a song like "Smells Like Teen Spirit," how do you not hear the influence of a band like Metallica and Master of Puppets? Like there's such a similar feel musically. But Metallica was around for so much longer before Nirvana was, right? But Metallica's hard rock and Nirvana is grunge rock. And like, so many gray areas.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you define a genre?
That is true.
Yeah.
But like,
and there's, I feel like with what we were talking about with musicians like appreciating the work after death. Well, you said something really great about the Beatles. Which you're like, it was like their chapter, and then like there couldn't be anything anymore after that. It was like that was it.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like people appreciate it more because they know, like it becomes more valuable because there's nothing that can be added to that after.
Well, I guess the same could be. I mean, just in the last couple of years, Prince, Bowie.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention Prince. Yeah,
yeah. I
David
mean,
Bowie's last song was "My Name, My Name."
I would still love them, even if they were still alive. But I guess some attention was brought to the fact that they were gone, and people started celebrating it, and then that got people who'd never heard of them before discovering their music again. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
but like, if the Rolling Stones were to put out an album tomorrow and it was terrible, it kind of waters down the collection. Like, if you wanted to own every single Rolling Stones album, not every single one is going to be brilliant. But I feel like if you were to go out and buy every Beatles album, every album they put out was a hit. Like, you know, and Quit While You're Ahead. It's like, you know, it's like Seinfeld. So many people who love Seinfeld say that there wasn't a bad episode, and then they stopped making it. It's like, gosh, you know, I really wish they'd keep making Seinfeld. It's like, no, because what if they did and the episodes were terrible?
Yeah, Quit While You're Ahead. That's so true.
The Simpsons has been around for however many years. It's been like 28 years or something ridiculous now. And I consider the first 11 seasons to be brilliant. And then it got terrible. And apparently it's gone through cycles where it's gotten good again and then gotten bad again. They gotten good again and they got bad again. And I, as a viewer, don't watch it anymore religiously. Like, I used to stay up and watch it.
I haven't seen it since, you know, high school, 90s.
Yeah, just like the whole, because The Simpsons was like, it was like, I feel like it's too similar to Family Guy now.
Well, that's just it. Like, it tried to compete with Family Guy for a while. But those first 11 seasons were outstanding. And if they had stopped there, you would have a complete collection of what was a brilliant show. Yeah. But now there's 15 seasons of it not being so brilliant.
So I guess the lesson is to be original, put it out there.
Yeah.
And really, I think, do it for yourself.
Yeah,
right?
do it for yourself. And like, don't force something just because of greed. But I can't really say that because, I mean, like, at the end of the day, everyone does want to get, like, paid.
Yeah, there's a balance. Like, if you really actually want to use it as your occupation, your main source of income, then you do what you can to survive.
You gotta get paid. It's like to
sustenance.
Yeah. Use that in your next rap song.
But it's not like the. I guess I'm saying is like, don't make it the only thing that you're doing it for just like money.
Yeah, it should never be about the money.
Yeah. Because then, like, it's kind of like, and sooner or later, it's going to get to the point where you don't even care about the money anymore.
Right.
There's a really famous acting teacher during the middle of the 20th century. Her name was Uta Hagen. And in a book that she'd written called Respect for Acting, she defines the difference between a professional and an amateur. She says, a professional is someone who does something for money. An amateur is a person who does something because they love it. And she says, even though I'm a professional actor, I never want to stop being an amateur. Mm-hmm. And the two don't have to be mutually exclusive. It's not like you're an amateur and then you're a professional. Professional does something for the money, an amateur does something for the love. So you can be a professional amateur rapper.
You just gave me some inspiration, Mr.
Wise words from Turpin.
I always like stuff like that when someone gives like advice to someone who's like younger, like me. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have advice because like, you know, I'm 18 now, right? So it's like, it's that point of your life where it's like, yeah.
Okay, good.
It's like that point of your life where it's like, oh, what road do I go to, right? It's like, cause there's so many options. You're like, what do I do? What do I do? And it's like, it can really feel like overwhelming a lot of the times.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I remember that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? How am I going to make money? Right. At some point you need to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, tons of decisions. The paradox of choice. But yeah, I think if you just follow your interests at this point anyway, I mean, in the back of your mind, you need to support those interests somehow, but I've always just followed what I was interested in, and I love learning new things, but I've always followed things that interested me. In my choice of courses I picked at university, I mean, there's certain things I had to do, but certainly I kind of followed my passions, things that I was interested in. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here now, right? Yeah. Doing what I love doing. So
that's the other thing, I guess, because like there's so many people who do things because of just the money, but then they regret it later on in like later life and they're just like, I wish I would have done this instead of doing that.
Well, certainly there are circumstances that can change, but I mean, once you figure things out or sort things out, then really you should be guided by.
Yeah, they say that if you find a job that you love to do, you never have to work a day in your life, and I really believe that. Yeah. Jesse L. Martin, who originated the role of Tom Collins in Rent, was able to have a conversation with him earlier this year, and he said, a bad day working in the theater is still better than a great day working at the bank.
Yeah. and that's what I was saying. Yeah. He's like, that's exactly what I meant by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just what it is. It's like people, I feel like society really puts an emphasis on just money and everything like that. And I do understand it's like the necessity that we need money to like survive and everything. Yeah. But I just feel like we overuse it a lot in terms of our decision making and everything.
So just to tie it up, do you have any advice for people who are looking to try something new, like what you did, learn a new art form, or who are just kind of teetering on the edge of putting themselves out there in terms of performing?
If I never took the risk of doing that live at lunch performance, I would not be in the podcast right now.
Not true. We would have found you for something.
I would not. I don't know. I don't know what would have happened, but I wouldn't. If I didn't do that, I know for sure I wouldn't have done the coffee house, and then I wouldn't have done live at lunch, which I'm going to be doing later on in the next one. But I guess just take the risk. That's really all I can say. Just take the risk, because I'm not going to say this quote is necessarily true, but there's this quote that I did read that said that the difference between like successful and unsuccessful people was like the successful people were like willing to take the risk and to like overcome their fears and everything. I mean, it's not easy. It most definitely isn't easy. Like during that whole performance, I was so nervous, but I did it and I went through it. and I feel okay right now. So just take the risk. And it is, I understand that it's completely hard to do it, but in the end, you will feel completely, like you'll feel like it paid off, and you'll feel like it was a risk worth taking at the end. Because I mean, you have nothing to lose. Like, this is such a good community, such a good school. Everyone's so supportive, really. So if you just do it, just the act of being brave enough to do it in front of a lot of people is something that people could applaud.
Yeah, and I think that confidence leads to other things. It's like a stepping stone, right?
Yeah, it's a stepping stone. It's like, and yeah, so many doors opened for me after that, really, that I didn't know open before. Like, I met people, other artists from everywhere who saw my video online, and they're just like, can I collaborate with you, and all this other stuff. So it's like,
opens the doors.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's an awesome piece of advice from a wise kid. So thank you, wise man Turpin, and thank you, wise man Laz, for joining us today.
Thank you, wise man John Connor.
All right, 30-hour famine time.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Thank you. Goodbye,
Thanks.
everyone.
Let's eat.
Oh, gosh.